Hello and welcome. My name is Kimberly Grymes, and I am a self published author. And this is From Ideas to Pages to Publishing, a podcast where I'll be documenting my writing and publishing progress and sharing tips and tricks of the trade that I've picked up from others in the publishing industry. When it comes to my personal author experiences, you can expect me to share the good, the bad, my wins, and even the days I sit in the corner all curled up and crying. It's all part of the growing process to become the best author I can be. And maybe along my journey, I can help others learn from my experiences. Don't forget that From Ideas to Pages to Publishing now has a writing support group on Patreon. We meet once a month to cheer each other on as we work to reach our writing and author business goals. So, if you're interested in a writing group focused on project accountability and motivation to keep moving forward on your writing and author business goals, then check out the From Ideas to Pages to Publishing Patreon group. It's meant to be a budget-friendly resource with low maintenance and high results. Welcome to episode 10. Before I update you with my writing projects, I'm curious to know how many of you tried the Write Faster tip I shared in the previous episode. The tip being, change your font to something that's harder for your brain to read. Thus, it doesn't get the chance to be distracted and self-edit as you write. I find it extremely helpful, and I use the Mistral, Mistral font on Microsoft Word to keep the words flowing and my self-editing brain at bay. And I'd like to do a really quick shout out to my author friend, Liz Delton, who shared this tip with me, and now I'm passing it on to you guys. Okay, writing update. I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to start with book 3, Shades and Blood Oaths, in my YA Dark Fantasy Trilogy 3 Shades series, which is off with my line editor, and I shouldn't be getting that back until either end of June, early July. And in the same series, book 2, A Vengeful Shade, is currently in the approval stage with ACX for the audiobook production, which I'm hoping will be approved and released into the world either this week or early next week. The Kickstarter is going well. I have a countdown app on my home screen on my phone, and right now it says 110 days until launch. And in addition to the omnibus and being able to order book 3 early before that official February 2026 release date, I'm also planning on having an annotated paperback of book 1, Shade of Light. So just to be clear, the omnibus isn't releasing in February of 2026. Book 3 is scheduled to release February of 2026, but you can get book 3 early in the Kickstarter. So jumping back to the annotated paperback of book 1, Shade of Light, I've started the process of formatting this annotated book, which I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do at first. So I kind of watched a couple authors on YouTube and what their process was for annotating their books. The one that really stuck out to me the most was Bethany Adazeta, and she used Canva. And so I'm kind of following her method, except I'm changing it up a little, and I'm using Affinity Publisher, which was what I used when I formatted and created my writer's brainstorming and outlining workbook, the 4-week story workbook. Also, Bethany Adazeta used Canva fonts or text to write out her author notes and then add them into the annotated book, which is fantastic. It was great. It looked awesome. But I'm doing something a little different. I'm using my Remarkable 2 paper notebook to handwrite out all of my author notes and then import those handwritten notes into my laptop, where I can then copy and paste them directly into the Affinity Designer page. So it's very similar to adding an image over an image, because technically the whole thing is images because I'm screenshotting every single page from my Word document and putting it into the Affinity Publisher, or what Bethany did was copy and paste it into Canva. It's a bit of a complicated process, but then at the same time, once you start really getting into doing it over and over again, it's not so hard. So the annotated book for the 3 Shades trilogy will be book 1, Shade of Light, And I'm really hoping to be able to include that in a tier for the Kickstarter this fall. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it. Moving on, my next work in progress is my Western Romantasy, which going forth, I will be calling it my Prairieland Romantasy as of right now. I really like that Prairieland title because I don't want people to think Old West with the dirt roads and the tumbleweed and the desert setting. This is more of a Little House on the Prairie style romantasy. It's a fantasy world, but I'm using the prairie lands of like East Wyoming as inspiration for the physical setting. The mountains are off in the background, but not too far because I do have some old miners' caves in my story, and so I need to be somewhat close to those mountains. But the idea is I want to really have that prairie, lush green, rolling fields, not the desert and the cactuses you would normally picture in like an old Western. I met with my book coach last week, and yet again, so freaking helpful. Working with Connolly has really helped me mold the foundation of this story before I start diving in and writing the first draft. All those questions you may not think about, that the readers will definitely ask. These are the kind of things, story plot, character development, and is the reader connecting to the character and their situation? These are the things that Connolly has really helped me in making sure I've addressed and checked off before I start writing. That way I don't have to waste my time going back and fixing things, which is a huge thing I always worry about while I'm writing. So, just a reminder, this book, my Prairieland Romantasy, I will be publishing under my adult romance and fantasy pen name, K. Grymes. That's K as in Kay. Also under that pen name will be the book I'm writing for the author collab project, which is going amazingly well. I couldn't be more pleased with how things are moving along. It's a fantastic group of authors, and everyone is eager to make this project successful. It's an amazing feeling, and I can't wait to officially be able to tell you more. Now I'm just going to really quickly shift from writing projects to author business goals. Doing a lot of the author business side is just as important as writing our stories. So, having that balance is super important to me, and it's something that I really want to focus on this year. Last year, it was about not getting burnt out from social media and writing faster. And this year, it's about balance and trying to make sure that my work life, my family life, everything doesn't overwhelm me. And then also that while in work mode, that I'm making sure that I'm getting stuff done that needs to get done and I'm not procrastinating. So, jumping into some business stuff, for some time now, I've been wanting to streamline my author website and my author shop into one place readers can go. I've been talking a lot to other authors about what they use for their sites, and majority use Shopify. Shopify is an amazing place to send readers. It does do exactly what I'm looking for. It incorporates basically your author website and a shop for people to buy direct from you. But unfortunately, I cannot justify spending $30 a month or whatever it is to have a Shopify website. I do not sell enough books to cover that cost, but it's not just that cost that I have to consider. Right now, I don't sell enough every month to cover that cost. And then all of the other monthly costs I already pay out. And yes, some of these subscriptions or services may be paid once a year, but it still gets broken down to a monthly expense. For example, I have Canva Pro. I also have BookFunnel, and I have a Zoom account, and I pay a yearly fee for the CapCut Pro. There's probably one or two more, but I can't think of them right now. But the point being, it adds up. And then if you include a Shopify account, you can be talking like $60 a month. And that's a lot of money. And for my book sales, I don't make enough to cover that. Granted, if I do get rid of my WordPress website, that'll put around $160 a year back into my pocket. But it's still isn't worth it to me to jump into a Shopify page. So I'm going to be doing some research, some more research. I've been researching for quite a few months now, to see what my options are and which one I want to really stick with, because I don't want to switch all of my stuff to one and then decide, oh yeah, I want to do something else. So I really want to make sure that the site that I decide to go with will be the site that I stick with for years to come. And my goal for this new website is to have it up and running at least 1 month before the Kickstarter goes live in September, maybe even 2 months. But I'm going to need at least a few dedicated days, maybe a weekend, to solely focus on making the switch. I don't want to have to work in between projects on this, because this puts me into a different mindset. There's a lot more technical work. I'm familiar with HTML and CSS and stuff like that. So I really want to be focused on doing all of that if I need to customize a theme or a website. I am going to hopefully have that up at least a month or two before the Kickstarter. Okay, I'm going to jump into talking a little bit about marketing, just because this has been on my brain for the past week too. I actually don't hate marketing. I mean, it's time consuming, and that's the part we really don't like. I enjoy creating images and posts and videos for Instagram and sharing updates in my monthly newsletter. What drives me insane is constantly battling the algorithm on social media platforms to reach people who already follow me and to reach new readers. And this isn't just for me. This goes for all people on social media. We all feed the monster posts and videos and then cross our fingers that the time and energy spent in creating the content was worth it and reaches people. I love Instagram. It's my favorite social media community. I'm a visual person, so seeing all the pretty books and readers posting about books they really love, all of that really hooks me in. And I can't complain too much about my content because I maintain a steady posting routine that has the algorithm happy, or at least I want to believe it's happy. Now, how do I maintain that steady posting routine? Well, I use Metricool. Metricool is a fantastic site where you can schedule your social media posts. You can use any kind of schedule out there, and I highly recommend it. Instagram is definitely a place that you can schedule posts, and it really doesn't affect your engagement or your visibility too much from my experience. But also, scheduling is a great way if you're trying to maintain a cohesive layout. I have recently started doing it's more like a checkerboard style with alternating photos and Canva created posts. And that really has worked for me. And so I think I'm just going to continue doing that for Instagram. Why fix what's not broken, right? But unfortunately, social media doesn't always sell books. It is a fantastic place to connect with readers, connect with other writers, networking, and just promoting and really getting visibility, that way. But when it comes down to it, we cannot depend on social media to sell books. Well, I mean, unless you have like 10 or 20 or 30,000 followers. Again, I'm not there yet. I'm working to get there. We're all working to get there. And so another reason we want to boost each other and motivate each other to keep pushing on. Jumping back, so I've heard that authors have had more success on platforms for selling books on like TikTok. But in order to make the algorithm happy, you have to put in more time and energy. From what I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, TikTok prefers content, preferably videos, that are created through their app, using text on videos, photos, using their music. And then after you've manually posted, I've heard that your engagement will increase for your video if you spend 4 to 5 minutes scrolling through your My Pages posts, viewing other people's videos. And then to add to that time sucker, you need to do this around 2 to 3 times a day. Now, I don't know how legit this information is. I don't know if it changes periodically. But for me, I don't have the time or the capacity to test this theory, because that's a lot of time cutting into my day when I can be writing or working on other projects. I do know I'm going to have to put some more energy into social media, including TikTok, in the 2 to 3 months before the Kickstarter campaign launches to really promote the Kickstarter. And my solution will be a hybrid one. I plan on batching a bunch of videos without sound or voice and then uploading them into a post either manually or I'll schedule a post through Metricool. But this way, I can add the text over the videos and add the music in the TikTok app. I'm hoping to do that at least once or twice a day. I don't know if I can do any more than that, but hopefully it'll be enough to get some decent visibility for my Kickstarter campaign. Remember, my Kickstarter campaign pre-follower goal is 150 people. I'm currently at 77 followers, which is fantastic, and I'm so grateful. I have about 110 days, according to my countdown timer, to reach the 150 goal I'm really wanting to reach. Also, I'm really hoping that Neptune app launches in the next month or so. It was supposed to launch the end of April for the iPhone and then this summer for Android users. If you haven't heard about Neptune, well, keep it on your radar because it's your TikTok alternative. The TikTok app is still in a probational period, I think, where there's always the risk that it can get taken down again. And I anticipate this drama. So, Neptune was created and designed, and it's in the process of being launched as a TikTok alternative. And it'll have a lot of the same features as TikTok, including the commerce shops. So, I am looking forward to trying that, opening my first social media shop. I did try to get a shop with TikTok, but I got declined because I didn't take a good enough picture of my driver's license. They said I had to wait and try again in 30 days. And I was like, 30 days? Phew, never mind. But I do plan on trying with Neptune. Well, I guess there really wasn't a main topic for this episode, so I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble on about what I've been up to this past week and how my projects are going so far. And hopefully, any information that I've shared has prompted you to go and check out some other information to help you along your author journey. If you ever have any questions about something I've talked about, please post them in the comments and I will answer them in one of the episodes. That's all for episode 10. Until next time, thank you for listening to From Ideas to Pages to Publishing with me, Kimberly Grymes. For more information about me, my books, and my author shop, visit kimberlygrymes.com/links.